I just sent one off to the personnel board. I said, if they want to.
Good evening. This is the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for November 5th, 2013. The Board of Appeals will conduct this meeting according to the rules laid out in Chapter 40A of the General Laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Robert's Rules of Order, and its own particular set of rules entitled Rules of Procedure, a copy of which is on file with the town clerk and other copies available from the clerk at this meeting. This meeting is being tape recorded for the purpose of taking minutes. Once the minutes are approved, the tape may be taped over. So, first thing on the agenda for the business meeting is the finance report. Patty?
Okay. The first sheet under finance is that expense line item spreadsheet that you were missing from the copy machine last month. So far all we have is the W. Mason supplies and July. If you notice, the phone bills come in really late. There's a July phone bill. I just got the next one, but I just got it when I came in tonight. So if you look at see how it says up top, split the 860? That's the total. So I split it phone, postage, supplies, because our postage is still, we still have plenty in there. And come next, after Christmas, I need to order some more of these, because the manila ones they break and rip, and these are a little stronger with fasteners. And they're like, it's ridiculous, they're like $70 a box. So our phone total to date is only $27.04, and the supplies is $130.57, $157.61 spent to date. That's expenses.
Patty,
Yes.
does Staples have those?
Well, what I'll do is.
Because you know what, I hate the manila ones at my office, but if Staples has those, the last time we had a little issue with price, you went back to WB
That's what I
Mason and
do.
said, hey, guess what, Staples is 30% cheaper.
That's what I do.
So you gotta work-
I make my WB Mason list. I go on Staples online. If anything's less, when I call them, I said I can get the Staples, and they'll give me the price on match.
Okay.
I'll do better.
Right.
These were pretty close though, because of the. I don't know. They're press board and they're recycled and. Okay, next is revolving. And from the only one thing on there was revolving hours ending for the last two hearings and some time at the window. So our amount spent to date on the second page is a lot less than it is because we have our expense account now. Under new business, I only gave you to save paper, the Duncan minutes, because I, thought they would be here. But just because the hearing is being continued or doesn't mean you can't vote on these. It's like it's
Do
fine.
you want to make one change?
Yep.
I'm a regular member, not associate.
What did I do?
This is associate.
Oh,
on
look at
there.
that.
That it really matters to me, but
Okay, so you can
Matters
vote
to
on
us,
them.
Jeff.
might to
As
somebody. What's
amended.
Matters to us.
that?
So if you want to vote on them, I'll just say as amended.
So as amended with, as far as Jeff is concerned. Or all the minutes.
Whatever else you
Okay.
see on there that you want to modify.
Yeah, would someone like to make a motion
Motion to
to,
approve?
As amended.
as amended, second?
Second.
Waiting.
Wait a minute, you just motioned.
I did, but nobody else answered, so I'll
Nobody
do it twice.
seconded it yet. All right, sure. Yeah, I'll second that.
At the end, I have what they were supposed to come back with, if you noticed that.
Okay.
All those that approve the minutes of
John?
the hearing of October 1st. Oh, wait, no, that's now. Yeah, October 1st.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Sharon needs to
Unanimous.
abstain. Okay,
Bubba.
so let me pull these out, because I gotta remember that. correspondence, we have denial from the building inspector dated October 3rd. That was going to be for December, but she had to get some documents ready, so that'll be January 7th, which is now posted because the town clerk got her new calendar, so that'll be for January 7th. The next item is a public hearing notice for the planning board for the definitive subdivision plan for 44 Searle Street rear, 1 Wilkins Terrace, which they're calling project name Turning Leaf. It's the Lisa Lane extension, kinda, you've heard about it.
Yep.
I have a full
Big
copy
one.
here of the whole plan. They're 11 by 17 if anybody wants to look at it. So what Howard gave me is the public hearings for November 13th. And they wanted comments by October 31st, which was the other day, but I could still give them comments if anybody wants to borrow that plan, and it's preliminary. I mean, it's.
Did they decide on individual houses? Or
What
are
they did was, they did like a pre-application where you have to file an OSRD, which is a cluster development where the houses are closer together for more open space. So that was decided against. So now I think it's 24 homes.
24 lots
And
and
they're
48 acres.
doing it as a regular,
Is it 24
regular
and 48
subdivision.
residences? 24.
24 lots, 48 acres.
Okay.
What does it say, 27 buildable lots.
There's
Sorry,
3 existing.
Improved by,
and
and 24, so it's
RB?
actually 24 lots, where I was right.
RB?
So 2 acre lots?
RB doesn't
Well,
require
there's
it.
probably
they
open
can-
space, infrastructure.
They'll decide that,
Can we take a question,
I don't know.
Chair?
Excuse me.
Can we take a question?
Yes, sure.
Do you just perfunctory look at that as zoning board of appeals?
It's just correspondence, a public hearing notice,
It's
and,
just telling you there would be zoning.
right, and if we had any questions on the plans, we could send the planning board comments.
Okay.
But it hasn't opened yet.
I only asked because I actually
Yeah.
sent a letter about that, so I own land behind that.
So you would send it to the planning board?
I didn't- I
At
didn't-
this
Yeah.
point, I don't believe there's any reason why they would come before the zoning board of appeals.
No.
At this
I'm
point.
asking, hey,
Yeah.
No, that's the answer, I think, that you're looking for.
Cause some subdivisions,
Oh, it's right here.
depending on what the planning board does, like for Little's, like True Lane, Little's Hill, you won't look at their RB, you don't go by RB regular setbacks, you go by, those were PUDs, planned unit developments, so those neighborhoods have their own setbacks.
Right.
Determined by the planning board in the process of the subdivision.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Good to see,
visiting.
that was the police department that called me.
Bye, Alan.
Bye.
Alan, we called them.
And so I don't know if you guys want to take a peek, but
Not
maybe
now.
even where get a little time.
I will. I'd just like to see where that is.
Do you want to take a quick look?
No, I'll do it afterwards. It's fine.
Okay.
We'll have
Thank you.
time here before the hearing.
That's true.
It's right here. Okay, and the new application will now be January, so I don't have anything to give you for that.
January.
January 7th will be 4 Crescent Meadow Lane. It's for an
I
in-ground
should be able to make that.
pool.
Anything after the 13th, I can't make them change. No, it's fine.
And that's all I have.
Huh?
Except that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Do you want to take a recess?
We're done with business. Would anyone like to make a motion to close the business
Should
meeting?
we, should we vote on
I'm
the
saying.
Dunkin' Donuts approval for the extension?
We gotta close first.
open that
I think I'm
hearing,
gonna
I
open that
believe.
hearing.
Yeah, we gotta open
yeah.
it first. We gotta close this first.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to close the business meeting.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Would you like to take a recess?
I'd like to take a recess.
Chris?
Please, Mr.
5
Chairman.
minute, no, 15-minute recess.
can't quite. the cake.
See?
Should
talking
actually
about?
take
Ready?
it home from
Myself.
Okay.
Okay, we are opening the first hearing of the evening, 7:30, November 5th, 2013, for 167 Nelson Street. The Board of Appeals will conduct this meeting according to the rules laid out in Chapter 40A of the General Laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Robert's Rules of Order, and its own particular set of rules entitled Rules of Procedure, a copy of which is on file with the town clerk. Another copy is available from the clerk at this meeting. This meeting is being tape recorded for the purpose of taking minutes. Once the minutes are approved, the tape may be taped over. And Gina, could you read the legal notice, please?
Yes. A public hearing will be held at Georgetown Town Hall, 3rd floor, meeting room on November 5th, 2013 at 7:30 for an application filed by Sean M. and Helena
Yes.
McGuire of 167 Nelson Street, Georgetown, Mass. To construction an addition, sunroom, and deck that encroaches on the required setbacks in the RC zone. The existing single-family home was built prior to the 1970 creation of the RC zone. The existing structure conformed to the requirements of the RB zone when it was constructed. The existing home predates the current zoning requirements and is considered a legal, non-conforming structure. The proposed construction extends the existing non-conforming front and side setbacks, which would require a finding special permit under MGL 40A, Section 9, and Georgetown Zoning Bylaw, Chapter 165, Sections 9, 78, 79, and 94. The premises affected is 167 Nelson Street, identified on Assessor's Map 4, Lot 13, ZBA file number 14-05.
Thank you. The members of the board tonight are Sharon Freeman, to my right, Gina Tebow, Jeff Moore, Dave Kapnis to my left, and I'm Paul Schillen. So Sean, why don't you go ahead and let us know what you're applying for here?
We have a sunroom addition on the back of our house. There was a deck there at one time, but not as big as this. And in going to get the building permit, we were told we were going to be within 40 feet of the setback requirements. We had to do an as-built, is what they told me, an as-built for the foundation. So we're requesting to, I guess, go into that area, out 16 feet over 24 feet, and so we can, have this addition to our house to expand it.
How big is the deck right now?
There's no deck on it right now, but at one time it was probably 14 by 12, I would say. Probably so far it went out, I would say at one time.
Just pulled it apart.
They tore it off in hopes to be able to go forward with this originally, and when we realized that we were within the area, so they put me some back steps, but that's all we have. We used to have a deck there, I should say.
Oh, so your builder was doing that? Yeah.
Yeah. That was back in late June.
So the deck went off the back corner, is that right? Where,
Yes.
you wanna just kinda show me where the deck used to be?
was all right here.
Okay, and it came off that same back corner,
Yeah, it
right?
was our back door.
Was it covered, or no?
No, it was
Okay.
not. It was just a deck. And, this sunroom addition, like I said, goes out 16 over 24.
Okay.
And I think it's really 16 is where we get, it's someplace in here, or it should be. So it's 28 feet there.
So I asked the building inspector about, because you're sort of missing a dimension to the existing home, which is would be from the corner to your side lot line, which is right where it says 0.5 right there. From there to your property line to the top, it'd be straight back that way. That's your side lot right there. That was the other question, as I wasn't sure how you interpret, which is because your house is at an angle. So he clarified that the top lot line would be your side lot. And the line along the right of way is your front, which is which is also where you're getting your frontage.
Right.
So that's your front lot,
Yeah, we didn't realize.
and your rear is way over here.
Thank
So-
you, yeah. you're right.
So I didn't know what that dimension was from your home to your side lot, which would be a perpendicular right to your side lot. But I think there was a deck there before.
There was.
Was that there when you purchased the house
It
as well?
was, yes. There was this deck was here when we purchased the house. And I know that from the corner of the house, I thought they measured at one time. I thought it was more than 40 feet, first of all, but we didn't realize if you went out, I think it was 11 or 12 feet, you would still be, you're fairly close to, you were like within 3 feet.
Well, the question is that your house is existing non-conforming because it was built prior to the zoning code change, and the building inspector has
And this is
certified
considered
that.
Nelson Street as well, too. Yeah, I didn't realize
Right, your
that.
right of way, which is really your driveway, right?
Right,
That's
I didn't
considered
realize
Nelson
that,
Street, yeah.
exactly.
And that's where you're getting your frontage, but you're non-conforming in several different ways, which is, in this case, as far as the decision we make, it makes it a little bit more straightforward, actually, because I'm just trying to clarify where your house is, because one of the things we have to do is identify the existing non-conformities, and
37
then
and a half.
try to evaluate how the change that you're proposing either intensifies or not those existing nonconformities or creates any new ones. So John had indicated that he thought that that side setback was actually nonconforming as well as the front. And that,
So this one right here?
yeah, if you look at that point right
Yeah.
there of your home,
I
right,
didn't realize it said this.
right there, right there,
I'm coming up at about 37 and a half feet.
to the
From where you
side,
drop-
if you scale it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of missing the dimension. I was
Yeah,
wondering.
it is.
But
Yep.
that point that Sean just pointed to is actually non-conforming. John was thinking to both the side lot and the front, because you need 50 in the front, and you've got 45.
Yeah.
Okay, and you
So you
need,
mean coming out this way too?
yeah, be directly the closest,
To there,
yeah, the
that's
closest
45
dimension to your
feet.
lot, right? You need 50. You don't have it. You only got 45. So it's non-conforming in that direction. You need 40 to your side lot, which
Yeah,
would be
not
straight
the
up.
angle, right, straight across.
John didn't know what that dimension was, but he felt that in reviewing your application or your previous information you had provided to him, that was also non-conforming to the side already, which is all right. You've also got a non-conforming lot, which is 41,000 square feet, so you have just over a 1 acre lot. You're in RC, which requires a 2 acre lot now. When this was built, it only required RB, but you need a 2 acre lot. You have a 1. And I think your frontage would require 200 feet of frontage.
And I probably don't have that.
I don't know what you have, but
I counted the frontage and I checked with John. So if you look at start up top 58.54,
yeah,
then you're counting inside, it's inside the lot where it says L equals. That's frontage, 74.68. Under that, L equals 46.33, L equals 23.53, and then outside the lots, it says
Oh,
72
yeah,
point.
okay.
So he has 275.63 square feet, so he meets the RC zone 200.
yeah, linear feet,
Requirement.
yeah. 275 linear feet. Okay, good. Thank you. I had not done the math yet. So all I'm trying to do to start is just to identify what's non-conforming about your lot, because the way this board is allowed to grant any kind of a change to the existing non-conforming method is to first identify what is it that's non-conforming about the lot, which is a lot of things. And John mentioned that this was in the RB district,
Right.
maybe before. How long? I don't know how long.
We've owned it for, this is gonna be our 11th Thanksgiving
Okay.
there, I think, 10th or 11th Thanksgiving, I believe.
So around
Our 11th Christmas
2002,
Eve.
something like that.
Yeah.
So in the 80s, this lot was moved when the town rezoned from RB to RC, which is why you have these nonconformities, because it otherwise would be conforming in the RB district. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why
Even
you
from
said-
the, even the 23.9 feet, yeah.
It only requires 20, I think I can look it up, but,
Yeah, yeah.
and it could have been non-conforming even to some regards in the RB, but he's explained, that's why you only needed a 1 acre lot, actually, when this was built, not you, but the previous owner.
Yeah.
That's how this thing got built, and then the town
What's an acre, 40,000 square
rezoned,
foot?
and this became RC, and you're already existing, so.
45.
Anyway.
An acre, 45.
43 and change.
43,
so
526.
65,
It says
something like
41, I
that.
think I'm under
But they
that.
carry,
Somewhere around there.
Thinking
the builder's
40,000.
acre's 40.
So,
Oh, okay, okay, thank you.
And a lot of the towns consider based everything off of like the 40,000, they consider that.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, is 40, but, okay, so,
I learned something new.
so you have front, yeah, and your existing structure is non-conforming to the front, it's non-conforming to the side, and the side setback, and, the lot size for the RC district, number one. I just wanted to try and figure that out, because he is missing this dimension there, so, anyway. And then the addition is then intensifying the side setback nonconformity.
Mm-hmm.
Only the side. Right?
You could argue, I suppose, that there's now more square feet within the 50-foot requirement as well from the front, I guess.
Well, if this is the front, it's actually in,
If you draw a line from
the
50
front,
feet.
the front
you're
is
now
50
building,
feet,
you know,
so
I
it's,
don't- that's-
it's already non-conforming where it's coming off the front. Okay, because he's got 45 feet, and the front is 50.
Right,
So we don't-
requirement.
So it's already, it's non-conforming front and side.
Right. But the addition would intensify the side setback nonconformity.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
So, anyway, so that's the nonconformity. Do you want to talk about the addition a little bit? Do you mind? Just as far as what's going on, you got some other plans here that
Yeah,
kinda show what you're planning on.
basically, it's a sunroom that will go down onto the pool right now. Expands our, living space. And, the hope is to, take advantage of that. All of a
So it's
sudden-
single-story addition?
Yes,
right?
a single story. It has, the shed-style roof, I guess you would call it.
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
John, quick question, is this
Yes.
a 3-season or 4-season?
It's 4-season. We're gonna insulate it and everything. We hope to heat it as well. I think that's included in it. That's what we're trying to do as well, to make it, see if it's gonna be warm enough. My big concern is it's gonna be, will it get cold underneath? Because it's not over a garage or anything, but it is a
Be on
frost wall
sonotubes?
foundation, not a cellar, but it's.
Sonotubes or
No, 5-foot,
frost wall?
Footing.
frost wall, footing,
Yeah.
thank you. And they're gonna also pour the top of it too as well.
Rat slab?
Yeah,
Yep.
to keep the moisture down, I think is what he was explaining to me. So, yeah, I think that was the hope, and, well, maybe down the road, look at something different with it, but that right there was to start with, and it goes right onto it's nice, it's open to a deck onto the pool there and everything. Where we don't have, there's just some mud room too before we go into the house, we don't have that.
Yeah, when you come in the rear.
Yeah, when you come into the back side of the house there, off the deck, which is kind of our main thing, the dog and everything, so it,
Deck isn't really shown, oh, yes, there is on the plan. So it's just an open deck, right?
yeah.
What's behind you? I saw trucks back behind in the
Behind here?
aerial photograph.
Yeah, that's the Christmas tree farm. Bill has a road just beyond here, Bill Ingraham, and
Graham Farm.
this is all kind of woods and,
Yeah.
trees and things and stuff like that. I've already talked to him about this, and he wasn't concerned at all, but I don't know what's on his call. What his road is to his Christmas tree farm is still quite a ways beyond this.
Mhm.
So, really isn't, in fact, there's like a high, there's trees and things, and we call it the high grass, and it's where our dog goes for, and we train him to do that. So it's quite a distance between there and get to Bill's house and his road that accesses the tree farm. In fact, you know, at one time it was even thicker. There was other bushes, they've cleared it a little bit.
Yeah.
You'd have a hard time following the people that, you know, how it gets busy up there for the Christmas tree season. There was plenty of room there, so. Originally, we had hoped at one time to do more of something this way. We didn't realize that we didn't own enough property to do that. And
Yeah.
that just happened when we talked about this, so this was the alternative right now, to
Yeah.
give us that family room.
Yep, yep.
Um,
I think your pool is actually non-conforming also, to the side lot, I believe.
This one here?
Yeah, if you look at this,
It's,
the bottom.
Yeah, they must have brought in a lot of, it's kinda high up here, it dips down.
Yeah.
This is all woods.
Yeah, and that was there when you bought the property.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We didn't put a pool in, no.
So-
Actually, it's a gunite pool too.
Yeah.
It's not huge, but it definitely has been a luxury that we didn't expect.
I think as John was saying, that was conforming at the time it was built. But when you go from
think the
RD
pool
to
was put in, like, the
RC, your
early
setbacks
80s.
like
Yeah.
double. The setbacks, I think, go from 20 to
20 to 40,
20 to 40, right?
whereas RB is 30 to 50 and RC.
Which is why. So you can't, obviously, the addition can't go on the other side where it would be fully conforming without filling in your pool, which is not something
Right.
I would imagine.
You mean like,
Yeah, if you just shifted it down, you'd obviously be.
Yeah, and I don't know, this to me looks like a lot more space than
Yeah,
I
it seems
think
to-
I am outside of my house. I have aero flows, it looks to me this is a little tighter, but
Mhm.
again, I mean, this is what is surveyed for us.
Yeah, seems to have very little, I mean, it's tucked in there, it's fine, from my opinion, it has very little visual impact to the rest of the neighbors and things like that. So, I know, is there a house right in this lot, just below you guys too?
Over here,
Uh,
there is, there's a house lot, there's a house here, a house here.
Yeah.
But the next house is across,
Right.
as you go up to the Cudmores and stuff,
Yeah.
it's across that other right of way is over here.
Yeah,
So, the road kind of goes through and it curls up this way to a house way up and behind too. I don't know what, that connects back to Ballpate, and when you buy your Christmas tree, that's where people will kind of go through.
I'm gonna work on this for a minute if you guys wanna keep.
Can we hear from the audience?
You can mark these
had to-
plans.
Oh, you got some
too, when you get
exhibits
a
to,
chance.
yeah.
oh yeah, that's Dave's job.
Has there been any written correspondence that needs to be noted as far as any opposition?
No, nothing from abutters, no new correspondence at all?
I can tell you, my neighbors are all aware of it. Well, I don't know about,
Well, they all got a notice anyway.
yeah, they all get noticed, but I've spoken to a couple of them, as we know, or one of them anyway. There's
So,
only two.
what, I'm just, it probably has no bearing, but, so it'll be used as a four-season sunroom?
Well,
Not
some-
extending your kitchen, not,
Not yet. I mean, that might be something if this, I don't think we can afford to do that right now, I should
see.
say. You know,
But
yeah.
perhaps, in the, I guess it wouldn't
Doesn't
matter
matter.
anyway, because a use is a use, right?
If it's four season, if it's
Doesn't
four
matter, as long as it's
season.
not a
The only
bedroom.
thing that would make an impact if it was a bedroom.
If it was a bedroom.
It's
And
not
then
a-
it'd have to be, he'd have to go through Board of Health before he saw us.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Um,
whether he calls it a four-season room, extended kitchen, whatever,
Right.
okay.
Right now, that is not on the docket, but I can tell you that, that would be something my wife really wants to do, but.
Would be lovely, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
but if we can get a season out of it or two, or, that'd be outstanding.
Well, I think it'd be great, it'd be a great idea to push a kitchen out there.
Well, it will
Yeah,
eventually, but
yeah.
I think there's some structural things to, you know, once you get the, you'll cut that open, but that would be something we definitely would be
It's
interested in.
doable.
Yeah,
How did your builder end up starting this without a building permit?
that's a good question, Paul.
I mean, I don't think it's, I mean, obviously you
Well, I
did it in time, you got the permit. I don't know what happens if you get caught building something without a permit, but, not
do.
to.
Yeah,
What does happen?
well, what I can
You get
tell,
a cease and desist and they
What did he
bare
do?
minimum, they double the cost of the
tore off
permit.
the deck.
Oh, the twin.
So you get penalized with the permit,
Mhm.
and then you get an after the fact of
Mhm.
sorts, yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but we had been down back and forth to the building inspector, and we had been told, why we actually went away to the Outer Banks for a week, and while we were away, that was taken down with the idea that he thought he was gonna be ready, thought he had all this stuff together, and would be ready to get go in front of, I didn't know we had to
Oh,
go
you're
in
just
front
gonna
of
get a
the-
building permit.
Well, we already gone through that process, and we were waiting to have the setback requirements, I guess, and he had thought he was gonna be able to go in front of whoever to get the permit, and I don't know why, maybe to get a jump on it or whatever,
And the
but
building
we come
inspector,
back,
yeah,
and
rejected
there's
it.
no deck.
He probably
Well,
thought it
But he
was
was looking
RB,
inside, yeah.
maybe.
Well,
And-
he actually mentioned something about that today, but something along the lines of the existing plan wasn't correct, or it was unclear to him that it was non-conforming at the time.
Yeah.
He thought that it was conforming, so he didn't notice that this was gonna be an issue.
Right.
And then found the issue, asked you to do an as-built, or to actually put this plan together.
Yeah.
To clarify what was going on, which he
He
did.
being the building inspector or
John,
the
yeah.
builder?
No, the building
Oh, oh,
inspector,
oh,
I
oh,
believe,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were
Probably,
going
he never
back and
actually
forth.
issued the permit, I don't think. but-
Yes.
I understand.
But he was prepared to and thought that it was not gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And
I
at least
see.
that was the indication
Yes.
he gave to either you or your builder.
And there was nothing else, I mean.
And then realized that the plan was not right
I
at some
see.
point along the way.
Okay,
And then he said, hold on a minute,
yep.
asked you to go about this. So then you had this done, is that right?
Absolutely, yes, we had that done. Took it twice, though, to get it correct, right, Patty? When we brought it over, it wasn't done correctly the first time, so we had to send them
Yeah,
back. Yeah.
he didn't understand.
Didn't quite understand, but again, we had this company do it again for us and put all the buildings on it. First time they did it, he hand drew in the shed and the other thing here, and,
Well, this comes to the point that we talked about a few months back, which is when are certified plot plans required? And I asked John, or one of us asked John, I don't remember if it was me or not, but when does he require them for building permits? And the answer was something along the lines, it was by email, when it's not obviously,
Right.
when I can't obviously see boundaries and measure them off.
Right.
Right.
So if it's a rock wall or a fence or something, and clearly he can go out to the site and measure it and see that the thing is conforming, he's not gonna require this, so a lot of permits are done based on a hand drawing or, an overlay on top of
Mortgage
a
plan,
mortgage
mortgage
plan
plot
or
plan.
or something like that with the
That's what we had.
dimensions outlined.
That's
When
exactly
it starts
what I
getting
did.
closer to encroaching on the setbacks, then he requires a certified plan. So I think at some point, he probably either went out to the site or took a closer look and realized that you were, you had a non-conforming issue.
yeah, I think that's what.
And I don't wanna put words in anybody's mouth, 'cause I'm not exactly sure, but.
So
It was
this
something
means-
like that. I know he brought it up on the computer, too, to measure some things.
Does it mean it won't be done before winter, I guess, huh?
Is there an active
Exactly.
permit now?
I don't believe so.
No.
You never did get a permit, right?
We
Did you?
have, no, I think that it's on this vote tonight, right?
He filled out, I think, the blue application, and then the denial was written,
Right.
so.
Pool application?
No,
No.
the sunroom deck.
Right,
Blue,
okay.
she said blue.
Yep.
Blue is the building. Well, they use the blue application for pools too.
Very good.
They did.
Okay. What's the progress of
Swimming.
the construction to date?
Nothing, they took off the deck and,
This demo?
yes, and then that, that was in, like I said, third week of July. Took until first of October to get the stuff carted out of there, I was just all on them all the time, but because it was just in a pile down here and the side of the yard. But they did put in temporary steps that go up to the back door. Yeah, and we still have like the cement in the,
Sticking with the
where
same
they had
builder?
like
Yeah,
cement.
the footings from the sonotubes,
No.
Yeah,
footings?
those are already there, not sort of the old ones that have the deck there, they're all sticking up.
Oh, there.
And it's not very safe, I can tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
It's like
He was there.
pogo sticks or something,
Well,
So,
At least there were sonotubes.
So the way, I
Seen
look at
worse.
this, that the proposed change intensifies the existing nonconformity being the side setback. Clearly, if it didn't, I think all it's required would be a finding, and then you go about your business. In this case, I think it's clear that you're intensifying at least the side setback. Is there another, does anybody see anything else that's going on here that, other than, I don't know what the existing is. What did you say you came up with?
37.
37 feet, something
Yeah.
like that?
Yep.
We'll say approximately.
And that's from the house, that's not from the deck.
But the existing,
Yeah.
well, you mean what
Proposed.
was the original deck? you
Right,
mean?
the proposed
Oh, yeah.
is,
27.8, excuse me.
well, they've got 33 down,
Did you read John's denial?
so.
Yes.
Does that
What am
have
I
the deck?
missing?
Yeah, well, it just, actually,
And they've got it as 27.8. I'm coming up with 33 if it's an inch to 30 from the edge of the deck. From the edge of the sunroom, I don't
you
think
just
that's
mentioned his
accurate.
addition.
Well,
So if there was
27.8.
the deck there, then it would be less than 37, but probably more than
then
27.
that's 33.
He's talking
Yeah.
about the
Okay,
front
and this
setback
is,
too,
I'm looking at the wrong
the
one.
first paragraph.
This is,
That's.
Yeah,
Just shy.
it's non-conforming, but I
Yeah,
guess the
it's
question
probably
is whether or
pretty
not
close.
it intensifies
probably
the
30.
the existing.
Yeah, I understand.
It
is
might
non-conforming.
intensify the,
Does.
the non-conforming on the front as well.
Yeah, that's right.
How?
Well, I thought it was a 50-foot setback.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it.
Well, it
doesn't
does
make it
from
44.
the existing
Stays at
corner of the
45,
deck,
Right?
okay?
Yeah, this is
It's
where it's
not an
completely
inch and a
subject to
half, so
interpretation.
It's
You can
still, it's
argue that
45
if you
feet.
take
This
a
is
50-foot
accurate. It is
line here,
45 feet.
Yeah.
And if this were not here,
sidetrack
which
us
is not,
about- Let's say
Right.
we're right here.
okay?
Yeah.
And
I can't see where you're drawing.
Yeah, I
this
know,
is
I
the
can-
front, and he needs 50. The side, he needs 40.
You move
The
your
front and the
fingers.
side
I
are both
will, I gotta get my
non-conforming,
line
I'm
in
just
there.
kidding.
Let's say this is,
okay?
It's intensifying the nonconformity, but he's not opening up yet another nonconformity, for one thing.
all right, so if you need 50 feet, there's your 50-foot line. All right, the house is here.
Yep.
Okay, so.
So you're building more
Within that.
within that. You know what I mean?
But I still
Now,
don't
so
think it
you could
intensifies it, because the worst,
Well, it makes it more.
Well, it doesn't qualify for a finding. Okay?
qualify for a finding.
It does not.
It-
I think it would have to be, he would have to be under a special permit.
And then the question is, does it intensify, what nonconformities are being intensified? And it would be the side, certainly, and/or possibly the front, arguably, or not.
I don't
And
think
then,
it's
is it
fine.
more detrimental? That's the question. So if it's more detrimental, well, then we're off to a different category
I
altogether.
don't
So-
see it being more detrimental.
Certainly not.
I don't either. I think
No.
it's fine. It's a single story, it's off the rear. The abutters have a lot of room, a lot of wooded
No one's
area,
here.
and no one's here
There's no objection.
checking the contrary, so. Your argument is completely valid. You could say
I'm sticking to it.
on the front, it's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Cause I feel like when you intensify something, when it comes to setbacks, you're actually decreasing the setback, where you're not decreasing a setback. You know what I mean? If this deck came off this way and this became 43 feet, then I think you're intensifying.
Mhm. The
Adding
nonconformity.
the 2 square feet within this 50-foot line
Yeah.
doesn't, I think that's moot, in
Let me
my
ask you a
opinion.
question, then.
My only dilemma was, I wish the deck was still on there. I would,
Well, and that's what we also have to think of, is if the deck was already out, it came right off that corner?
It did, it came out,
That's why I was asking the question.
probably 12 or
Oh.
14 feet, 12 feet out, I would say.
So enough that it would fall within this triangle.
I think it was, the addition went a couple feet beyond.
might not be intensifying anything if the deck was still
over
there.
It would be on the side.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
the
The
deck
deck was
was.
small, the
it was
existing
only-
deck was smaller.
you said
Ten-
that-
It's a little bit smaller, yes, it wasn't
Yeah, it was
16
like we
feet
just
out.
Oh,
say
so
12
we're
by-
only
Probably about-
intensifying in the side then.
The 12 or 14 out, because it had a little
Yeah,
bench seat.
probably.
So it
So
was
it's,
deceiving.
we are, it's
To your
intensifying,
point,
it's increasing
Let's
the
say you needed 20
nonconformity a
and
little
this was
bit.
10
It
feet.
definitely is. Agreed.
Right here.
Agreed.
This was a house. Okay?
Out, and then it didn't go over 24 feet.
All right.
It went over.
So they said, you know what, I'm non-conforming,
maybe
here's
12.
my
I don't know,
lot.
I'd have to.
What I'd like to do is build my, all the way up like this.
I don't have a problem with
And let's
that.
say it's conforming back here. I
It's
need it
still
to be 20.
conforming
No, we
here?
just have
Yeah,
to be
whatever,
clear.
sorry.
What's
of what we
non-conforming?
discussed.
I wanna build it all the way out
Yeah,
there. Now I got
to me, I
all of
believe
this.
there's two non-conforming,
Okay.
front and the side
Still,
setbacks.
Okay.
no
Okay,
closer.
that are the non-conforming.
Does that
But-
intensify this,
Okay.
this non-conformity when you're
Okay.
supposed to be out here?
And that's
You
why
need
it doesn't-
20,
it
and
does
you
not
just filled in
qualify
this
for a
whole
finding.
thing.
I see.
Or you went.
Okay, right now it has to be
See what I mean?
under a special
I see what
permit.
you mean in this case.
The only difference being you got more square foot in here, but you're technically not gonna include. This came up on a, sorry, we're using your case as a.
We get this is one of our primary jobs, is to deal with non-conforming issues, and we try to be very clear about it, so it makes it easier for the next hearing and the next hearing, so that there's no gray area about it.
And we try to get on the same page too, I think. For
We
the
don't,
most
we don't have to
part.
agree, though.
No, and
don't
we
always.
don't always.
This came up on another application, I won't mention the address, but somebody had a garage. The issue you and I are kind of talking about, where they had a garage and they wanted to make it much deeper along along their lot line,
see-
where they were too close, and they shared a driveway, the driveways were very close, and the neighbor was a little concerned, and so they worked out, but they went another 20 feet, I think they made the garage much bigger. Stayed exactly the same distance and got bigger.
So then I
So
feel
the
like
question
that
was-
becomes more, is that detrimental versus, I mean, I
Well,
get.
if it's not increasing the non-conforming, we don't even have to have a special permit, it's just a finding and he doesn't need anything.
Really?
To me, I would argue that this can in fact be intensifying it, but provided that the board find it's not more detrimental, then
Special
then it's a
permit.
special permit, and then we have the authority to
So-
add conditions if needed, or screening if needed, that kind of thing. If
So
we
if
just
we
say.
think, if we always say, if that's our MO for lack of anything else, that helps us. It doesn't really matter necessarily in this case, but it would matter in this case. So, but if that's our rule, then it's something that I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an issue saying that this is not intensive, particularly with the deck issue. My question about the deck was leading, and it's a little unfair, but the question was, where were you to start with? And how
Right.
close were you to your lot line to begin with, both the side and the front?
Right.
If that plan showed the existing deck that was there, that's part of your structure, it was already consuming part of that front setback that was non-conforming. That's what we're talking about here. And
That was
so-
done before this. This plot was done before that deck was torn off too.
Oh,
Oh, it
really?
was, and they didn't
Pretty
include it
sure.
on there.
They should have, yeah.
See,
Actually, I
because-
take that back. It may have been after because
Yeah.
I bet it was after because it was after we, yeah. It was.
Had to be.
In this case, it doesn't
If-
quite
if
matter to
they-
me, but I'm not
Right.
gonna throw out the possibility that these cases can be.
No, it was
If this
after.
sunroom was built in the same footprint as the
Yes.
deck,
This is all they were doing.
it wouldn't need a permit if
I
it
think
was the same
John should just
footprint,
say
right?
that's a fine.
Yes, he
Don't
would.
bother, you got it.
I mean, a permit, but not a
No,
special
because I think
permit.
that sounds
Yes, you would,
detrimental.
because a
Could.
deck is different than anything that's has a roof that's attached and now is part of the house as far as the structure.
So it
Say-
starts
you
all
could
over,
also
again, even
say
though the deck
technically
was non-conforming.
Either side,
Now, if
It's
you wanna go
considered
and
a
close
structure.
that deck
go all the way over here, 10
and
feet.
turn it into part of the house and create
Unplugged.
an
No, side
additional
would be
living
one.
space,
The other side is one of the same.
Mhm.
so John would
Side
kick
setback.
that
So
back.
if you're
Mhm.
already, no, I
Should
feel,
we?
Yeah, you can do that.
Like an informal poll
I
as
don't
far
agree
as.
with that. I feel like
See?
you would need to do each side.
I think,
as
I
its
think we're
own.
kind of in agreement that, we all agree that.
We're kind of-
Anyway,
we're not
whatever.
Yeah, we went
We're
off
just
on
having
a
a
tangent.
For findings.
Not really.
Thank you.
Yes.
But I think it qualifies for a special permit.
Yes.
It's only my opinion,
Definitely
honestly.
agree.
It really is just.
Yep.
It's
No, I
doesn't-
No,
understand.
you're not gonna find the,
It's
you know,
not,
the stuff
you know,
written
talking about garages and
print
stuff.
anywhere, other than
Okay.
legal opinions.
I'm
Um,
just gonna take mines. and split
All right,
those.
sorry.
We do I guess you could make a motion if you're inclined. Or do we wanna talk to the board and see how they feel about this? But is there,
Go ahead, I'm gonna
Start
tweak this a
writing,
little
Jeff?
bit. Yeah, I'm working on something here.
Like,
I'd be happy to make a motion, I'm not quite ready to do the whole thing yet, because I'm just gotta flush this out a minute, but
Mhm.
if there's other issues, concerns, or anything, I don't know if anybody.
no, Dave?
I don't have any other concerns other than I think it's clear that you don't qualify for a finding, okay? I think that, and if the board so chooses to agree, that you're going to meet criteria for a special permit. And that's now is what we're trying to formulate to make sure that in accordance with our regulations and bylaws that we are committed to follow, that you will meet that criteria.
I agree, and I think it is definitely not detrimental to the neighborhood. I don't think it has any sort of negative visual impact whatsoever.
It's not detrimental, there's no overload on anything, okay? No health hazards, no safety, or general welfare. It doesn't impair the integrity of the character, and it will not cause a particular use that's detrimental. you know, in my opinion, you know, this would meet the qualifications to receive a special permit. Do you guys have thoughts on that as well?
I'm fine.
You agree?
I'm in agreement.
Okay. We'll just wait for Jeff to write it all out for us.
Any conditions you guys want to think of for any reason?
I can't really think of any conditions.
No, other than it's just gonna
He's
be
got
built.
Per
This
plan, per plan attached, right?
Why,
Yeah.
why
It
It
screening?
can't, it can't be an 18-foot.
And nobody can see him.
It's gotta stick to a 16-foot, you know.
Absolutely. Have a-
Mm.
No.
And the deck
Can't
needs to
put
be the deck,
windows on
but
the
that's,
roof.
that's planned.
You know, the,
I just don't see any other.
the original was a
I don't
little
either.
bit
Usually when we
smaller
have in-law
because
apartments and
we had
stuff,
it
we
in
have a
front
bunch
of
of
you.
conditions.
You know, we always had wanted 16, but we,
What's the all
we
commercial back
so you
there?
can't, so we scaled it back.
Farm stuff, or
Still,
agricultural.
yeah,
whatever it
but
is,
that's, I
right?
think that's
Yeah.
what happened, that's why the deck was
And
built so
got a
tall,
50
we
foot here,
scaled it
so-
back.
Maybe we're thinking
But
something.
now it's
Personally,
what you want.
it's gonna make the house look nicer anyways.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
We'd like
I
to
really do. I think it's, I
Okay.
think it's a real improvement on
Much
the
better than
property,
that. Yeah.
you know. The only thing he could have done was try to kick it over this way a little bit more, it'd still be non-conforming. He still wouldn't meet the conformities and he's getting too
Right.
close to the pole.
Yeah.
Mm.
So to me, the layout makes sense.
Plus,
Yeah.
it would look peculiar, yeah.
What's that?
If you moved it over, it would make the structure sort of
You'd have to
odd.
move, you'd have to center the addition
Yeah.
and kick the deck to the other side, okay,
Yeah.
as for aesthetics. But then I think you're encroaching on the pole, and it's,
Yeah.
to me, it's just, you know,
I think
it
this
wouldn't
is
make sense to
better.
me aesthetically.
Right.
Pool is
agreed.
definitely closer, because it's close to cement when you get over.
Oh, we could
further.
always move the pole.
Yeah.
No problem.
Solve the problem, just turn it.
Yeah.
Twist it.
That's all, just move the pole.
That's right.
And
Sounds nice.
Sean, you've been dealing with this since July?
Really, we were told when
June.
we first started to do this back in April, we filled all the paperwork with the bank and everything, that, oh, this will be ready, we'll have it done by the end of the school year. And it was
man.
Oh, boy.
delay, and now we're trying to get it in before the frost.
When did
I
the
was
building
wondering if
inspector
you-
get involved?
I would say it was right after we got approval from the bank in June, early June. Because it still took, once you did all the paperwork with the bank and did the original part of it, that was like late April, early May. It took, 4 weeks for the bank to come back and say, you're approved for the,
For
note
the
to do
finance,
this, for
financing was
financing.
approved, and then
Then
you
we
went to the
went to-
inspector in June?
1st of June, I'd say, middle of first week or two of June, maybe. I think that's what it was. Because originally, we didn't think there was gonna be a problem when we first met with the builder, because we would just work with him with the bank. We hadn't even gone any further than that, and after we got approved, all this changed quickly, so to be honest with you, we're, it's, we're paying some, like, the interest every month on how much the loan's gonna be. Have been
Exhibits?
since,
Yes, we
July,
have
I think.
exhibit A through what?
A through
sorry,
E.
it's taking me a minute.
A
No,
through
and
E.
we missed
Plot-
the deadline too. so we
Exhibit
missed
A
the
is the
deadline
plot
by time
plan?
getting our paperwork.
Exhibits A through E.
Exhibit,
From-
Per, I'm gonna say per,
And then the sunroom
exhibits A
addition-
through E
Yes.
attached.
Yep.
yeah.
That's
The
simple.
hope is to use it last summer.
Yeah.
A through
We're
E.
Excited that we'll be ready maybe by the holidays. I doubt it, but.
Well, I don't know. You think it's possible?
Get that
Have it done by
foundation
the
poured.
holidays?
What's that?
Have this done by the holidays?
Per, all right.
It's possible.
Possible, right?
Anything's possible.
Well, what holiday?
Are
I'm
these
thinking
plans?
December.
Thinking Christmas, yeah.
Thanksgiving, probably not.
Easter.
Maybe not Thanksgiving.
Need to interrupt for a second,
Oh,
sorry.
I'd be surprised.
Are
because I
these
think
plans are final? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
just want to be clear, because if the board issues a special permit, we have to do it per the plans that are submitted with the application.
Right.
So any change to those plans requires a re-review, which obviously you don't want to deal with. So particularly related to the footprint, which obviously at this point isn't going to change because that's what's submitted, but you don't have any other plans, and the ones that you've got are
These are the
what
plans.
what you've settled on, right? Okay. Is this what was submitted with your building permit application as far
Yes,
as?
this is.
This is the set, right?
This is the set with the permit op, yes.
Was there, well, there weren't any other plans submitted with your building permit application that would in
I
any
would-
way?
Should be a
Draw on
framing
this
plan.
one anyway.
No.
Foundation.
I just wanted, since you've already
Structurals.
submitted your building permit application, I'm just wondering if there's anything in there that isn't synonymous with what you've got here, just to make sure that,
No, the.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, so you're saying the original ones I submitted back in June? Or these? These are the ones that I've
this
submitted.
is it. So
This
there's a
is
new
it.
building permit application, this is what's in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good enough. I was gonna make a motion, but I better wait for a fifth board member to walked out on us.
Did you even use that at all?
I
Yeah.
sort of.
Just make it legible.
All right, then, I'd like to make a motion if I could, this might take me a minute, but I would move that this board find that the proposed construction for a sunroom and deck addition for Sean M. and Helena
Helena.
McGuire of 167 Nelson Street extends the existing non-conforming side setback from approximately 37 feet to within 27.8 feet. I further move that the board find that this proposed change is not substantially more detrimental than the existing non-conforming structure, and that the board grant a special permit to Sean M. and Helena McGuire of 167 Nelson Street for the proposed construction of a 16 by 24 foot sunroom and an 8 by 10 foot deck per exhibits A through E as attached. Miss anything there? So there's
Do we need a second?
two findings. There's one that the proposed change intensifies the existing non-conforming setback, and that we grant a special permit.
Further conversation? I don't think so. I think the board
Did you
is.
second?
I
Oh, you
second.
did. Okay.
Second?
Yes, I did.
And 16579, did you say that?
Yeah, I was,
No, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
165.79.
that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, yeah, right, right, no,
non-detrimental?
sorry. No, special permit sorry, under Mass General Law 40A, Section 9, the Georgetown zoning bylaws, Chapter 165, Sections 9, 78, 79, 94. Georgetown, Mass, identified on Assessor's Map 4, Lot 13 in the RC zone. I further move that the board find the application met the zoning bylaw, Chapter 165, 79, A through D, that the application is desirable to the public convenience and welfare, will not overload any public water or other municipal services so as to unduly subject any areas to hazards affecting health, safety, or the general welfare, will not impair the integrity or character of the district or adjoining districts, will not cause an excess of that particular use which could be detrimental to the character of the neighborhood. Sorry. Got all that, Patty?
Second?
Should we move to vote? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? No one. Okay, got your special permit.
Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, let me just
Wait,
quickly.
1 second.
To notify you of a 20-day appeal period. Following 14 days, clerk has to file the written decision with the town clerk. A person who exercises rights under an appealed special permit variance does so at their own risk. I'd like to
Understand what
make
that
a
means?
motion to close this here. Oh, someone needs to make a motion to close the
I
hearing.
think so. You said at my
That
own.
means if someone, if you proceeded right away with the permit, within the appeal period, you could end up coming back, to deal with the appeal.
Yeah, okay.
I think you're in good shape, there's nobody here opposed.
Motion to close the hearing?
But that's
moved.
that's the risk that you.
Yeah, you are.
Right, if we start early, is what you're saying, if they'll build it, you have to wait the 20, what was
There's
it?
an appeal period of
20 days.
20
days.
days.
So-
We've got 15 days to file
Yeah.
the decision. You need to have the written decision. You're not gonna get your building permit until that's done.
Right.
Then there's a
Then-
20-day appeal period?
So once it's signed it's written and signed by them, I will get it stamped by the town clerk. No, I'll do that later. I'll call you, give you the registry instructions, but you gotta wait 20 days.
Okay,
Make sure no one appeals it. Then you take it to the town clerk, go to the registry, come back. So it's another 30-something days.
okay.
Okay, Gina made a motion to close, but no second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
if you do your paperwork before 14 days, that moves it up quickly,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yeah, the sooner we get the decision, I'll do it
Does them pretty
tomorrow.
quickly.
Be done
so-
before the end of the week.
This is,
Oh, awesome.
I'll
Thank
do
you.
it,
Well, signed, I don't
I'll do it tomorrow, hopefully we'll,
And we'll have it
takes 2
signed
weeks.
over the weekend.
hopefully,
Great, thank you.
hopefully they'll sign it over
Thank
the
you for doing that
weekend.
motion.
Yeah, sure.
We'll sign it over the weekend.
Yes, we will.
Maybe I'll have it Monday.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, good
As
luck.
long as you remember to
See you
text
later.
us.
Good night, Sean, good luck.
Good night.
Folks, shall we move
Oh,
to?
no, Chris, no, hold on a
No,
second.
we have to,
We have
I'd like to open the
close.
second hearing.
Can I just have what you wrote?
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I know.
Bye,
yeah.
Sean.
Thank
Take
you.
care, you're welcome.
I'll rewrite it while we're doing other things.
All right, folks, I'd like to open the hearing for 6774 East Main Street. The Board of Appeals will conduct this meeting according to the rules laid out in Chapter 40A of the General Laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Robert's Rules of Order, and its own particular set of rules entitled Rules of Procedure, a copy of which is on file with the town clerk. Another copy is available from the clerk at this meeting. This meeting is being tape recorded for the purpose of taking minutes. Once the minutes are approved, tape may be taped over. At this point, I'd like to make a somebody, keep wanting to make motions. I'd like somebody to make a motion to waive the reading of the legal ad as we've already read it in the previous hearing.
So moved.
so moved.
Secondly, I believe Sharon is abstained from this hearing.
I need to recuse myself
You-
as a
yep.
butter.
You're recused, okay? The meeting is now open. I guess I'll read this correspondence, Patty?
A minute. Okay, Sharon.
I recused, yep.
Okay. Yes.
Hello, Patty. On behalf of the applicant petitioner, Mistra Realty Trust, enclosed for filing with the Board of Appeals in this matter is a continuance request and extension of time. Accordingly, we are respectfully requesting the Board of Appeals to continue the hearing scheduled for this evening to the board's next regular scheduled hearing, which I understand is on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013. The reason for this request is that we are continuing to work on a complete response to the matters raised at the board's last hearing on this matter. Please contact me should you have any questions. Thank you, John T. Smolak. Essentially, what that means is we are going to continue this hearing till next month.
So we need a motion to allow them to continue. Well,
Yes. Do I need to address this extension of time?
That you just need to sign.
Okay, very good. Would someone like to make a motion to continue this hearing until next month?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that Sharon doesn't need to vote. All right, that's it. Secondly, someone needs to make a motion to close this hearing.
No, you're not closing, you're continuing.
Oh, continue, I'm sorry. So we don't need to close it. We don't need.
You're all set.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Chris.